Thank you, Ellie. Preparations are complete at Yad Vashem for the start of Holocaust Remembrance Day, which begins tonight at 8 o'clock. President Shimon Peres, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, Knesset members, and other dignitaries will be in attendance as Israel remembers the 6 million Jews murdered by Nazi Germany and their collaborators during the Second World War. The main ceremony will be broadcast live on Israel television. IBA's Ari O'Sullivan was at Yad Vashem today and filed this report.
Each year, the country marks Yom HaShoah, Holocaust Martyrs and Heroes Remembrance Day, and each year it commences with a torch-lighting ceremony attended by the leaders and survivors at Yad Vashem Memorial in Jerusalem. They will come to mark one of the most catastrophic events in Jewish history, the murder of 6 million European Jews. 6 survivors are slated to light torches to the victims of the Nazis' mass murder. In a few hours' time, Israel will mark Holocaust Memorial Day. This year's theme is Jews on the Edge, 1944, between annihilation and liberation.
This year looks at the year 1944 as a pivotal year. We're 70 years since 1944. And 1944 is a very unique year because, on the one hand, there is already liberation taking place. Jews are being liberated from the Nazis. On the other hand, there's still massive acts of murder taking place. For example, the destruction of Hungarian Jewry. And so there's this duality in the year 1944 between annihilation and liberation. And that's what this year's theme looks at.
Today, Yad Vashem is filled with visitors, Israeli youth, tourists, Germans.
Our youth in Germany think a lot about this history. We have lots of remembering on TV, films and documentaries and so on.
Your relatives, maybe your father or grandfather, yes, they were in the war.
Yes, of course.
What
My father was. He never talked about it. Never. I asked often him, but he said, it's enough. I don't like to think about it.
And even for those who have no history to share with Israel over this mass genocide, the site is a learning experience.
It reminds us a real sad period of the human history. And the lesson is that we should never redeem such things. And this is the conclusion I arise from visiting this place.
Early Zionist leader Yitzhak Benkin wrote in the midst of the Second World War, "We Jews are the most lonely people, the most deserted and most just people in the world, and we are the orphans of the world." The determination to establish a thriving Jewish state was essential for the existence of the Jewish people, despite the Holocaust. And the lesson being drawn today, 70 years later, is that we are not always alone, and never again. Ari O'Sullivan for IBA News.